Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. Today we're going to be discussing the Imperial military and comparing it to the Republic military to see which one is best. Now, this is completely opinionated, but I thought it'd be cool to speculate over some of the different categories, so let's get into it. The Star Wars universe has seen a variety of crazy militaries, from clone soldiers to droid armies to stormtroopers who can't aim, and of course outnumbered rebels using hit and run tactics against the Empire. But I'm curious, what military gets the edge over the other? Especially if we generally break them down between troopers, leadership, heavy walkers and other armor, capital ships, and starfighters. We're going to be looking at two of my favorites, the Grand Army of the Republic and the Imperial Military Might. We're going to give them points for each category that I listed above, and then see which one wins. I will not be looking at specific numbers because to do a breakdown like that would be insane. We're strictly going to compare as if they're the same in terms of numbers. First category is going to be troopers. The Republic had some of the best soldiers the galaxy had ever seen. They were creative thinkers, adaptable, and loyal to the Republic, maybe to a fault. The Republic also had ARC troopers that were the best of the best when it came to regular clones. They utilized dual blasters or a single blaster rifle, and had experimental armor upgrades. Finally, the clone commandos were the most elite unit the Republic deployed, the product of Kaminoan experimentation on the Jango Fett template that resulted in stronger, faster, and more intelligent clones. Not only that, they wore Katarn-class armor that was highly durable and shielded. Their weapon systems were also stronger and could be used in different configurations. The Empire began phasing out clone troopers shortly after the war as they looked to pull volunteers from all over the galaxy. These new TK troopers, or stormtroopers, were first trained by clone commandos, but as the clones were phased out, the quality of TK troopers lessened. The average stormtrooper's armor was made of a cheaper plastoid than the clone's armor, and their weapons were average at best. Death troopers were more of an elite unit the Imperial military utilized. Specially selected members of the Imperial Army and Navy underwent enhancements to both their physical bodies and mental capabilities. Death troopers also wore armor that was a stronger plastoid, and their helmets had advanced features built in. Other units like the Inferno Squad filled in the special operations aspect of the military. They wore specially designed armor and utilized a variety of weapons from heavy blasters to snipers. Now, which military has the best overall troopers? I think this one is a bit obvious, but the point has to go to the Republic. Their clone troopers had the best training, great weapon systems, and better armor than the average stormtrooper. Their ARC troopers would be able to handle the Death troopers, and the clone commandos would wipe the floor with units like Inferno Squad. Point Republic. Next up is leadership. This discussion won't be as long as it's fairly cut and dry. The Empire relied on leadership that was constantly stabbing each other in the back. Not only that, they rarely had the experience to handle the type of engagements the rebels would throw at them. Whereas the Republic had admirals of a higher order. They were loyal to the people of the Republic. They weren't betraying one another, and they had the help of the Jedi. And while the Jedi weren't military tacticians, they possessed the ability to tap into the Force, giving them an invaluable insight. Now yes, the Empire had Grand Admiral Thrawn, and he is arguably one of the best Star Wars tacticians, but he is also just one leader within a military that was rather incompetent. Point Republic. Now for some heavy armor, and this is going to be a tough one. The Republic had some great heavy armor, like the AT-TE, AT-RT, TX-130 Saber Tank, and AT-AP, but the Empire had some insanely strong walkers. The AT-AT alone could outgun the best walker the Republic had. The AT-ST was also very well equipped and had powerful anti-personnel and heavy weapons. A lot of what makes the Imperial Army's heavy armor so great is thanks to the Republic's walkers and tanks that came before. Regardless, the point goes to the Empire. Let's go Starfighter time. I love the Star Wars universe fighters, and the Republic has some of the best. However, a lot of people sleep on the tie line of fighters. Yes, they're pretty bare bones, but they also pack heavy laser cannons and extremely fast engines that could outmaneuver just about all the Republic starfighters, excluding the V-Wing, which could match the TIEs, maybe not the TIE Interceptor. But speaking of special starfighters, the TIE Defender is a highly capable starfighter, and had it received proper funding would have destroyed the Rebels' forces. But the Republic shouldn't be ignored. The ARC-170 was a highly capable heavy fighter that could complete strike missions or bolster any of the light starfighters in combat. The V-19 Torrent was the Republic's premier starfighter within the Navy. The Z-95 Headhunter was also incredibly adaptable to the changing environments of the Clone Wars. And the V-Wing changed the game, giving the clone pilots an edge over the droid Tri-Fighters, which were decimating the battlefield. All in all, the point goes to the Republic for its starfighters. Capital ships. This is a controversial debate. Which Navy had the best capital ships? I've made 2 videos on the Imperial class versus the Venator class Star Destroyers, and the comments are always popping off. Everyone seems convinced that the Venator is capable of destroying the ISD, based on World War II tactics, which is just kind of funny to me considering Star Wars is a world of force abilities, hyperspace, and insane weapons like a Death Star. This is basically a fantasy world that sometimes leans towards sci-fi, but more so fantasy. So let's be a little more realistic here. Conventional warfare that we know doesn't really apply in this universe. Maybe sometimes, but again, rarely. So the heavy hitters for the Imperial Navy are the ISDs and the SSDs, or Superstar Destroyers, insanely large warships with massive amounts of firepower and armor. The Republic Navy has the Venator, which is mostly used as a starfighter carrier that rarely launches all 420 fighters at once. It has some heavy turbo lasers capable of dealing a reasonable amount of damage, but overall it lacks strong enough armor, shielding, and turbo lasers. They also have the Victory class, which is a nightmare of constantly failing systems. The support vessels of these 2 navies are also different. The Empire has upgraded models of the Republic's Arquitens class light cruiser, making it stronger, and the Raider class corvette would definitely destroy the Charger C-70. You could argue the use of starfighters giving the edge over the Empire, but we're talking capital ships, and for that reason, the Empire wins the point. Alright, I guess we have our winner. I mean, come on, we all knew that they had the better military, but it's still fun to speculate these things. I think if we had a fleet of Venators mixed with ISDs, that would be unstoppable. Both militaries have positives and negatives, so let me know what you guys think is the best. Was I right, or do you guys disagree? Make sure to subscribe to the channel to enjoy more Star Wars content, and like this video while you're at it. Have an incredibly nerdy day, and may the Force be with you.